Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a new launch in the natural beauty world. A couple of weeks ago, Vapour Beauty actually launched a new artist palette, which they have a few different ones. They have lip ones and eye palettes, and this one happened to be an eye palette in the shade Midnight. I was actually fortunate enough to receive this palette a few months ago, so I've had some time now to play around with it, and I wanted to make sure I hopped on camera and gave you guys a little bit of a review, a demo, the look that you can come up with, which I'm actually wearing right now, and just show you guys this palette, because I think when I first saw it, I saw 3 blue eyeshadows and was kind of like, I'm not a big fan of blue eyeshadow. I don't know how exactly to wear this, but when you actually apply the colors and you see them in person, it's more of like a gray gunmetal kind of palette. So I think honestly, first impressions can kind of be deceiving, and I want to make sure that you guys know what this palette actually entails, because if you're looking for like an electric blue palette, this is not going to be it for you. But if you're looking for something that's kind of metallic-y gray, gunmetal-esque, and very sparkly, then I think this could be it. So the packaging itself is pretty standard for Vapour Beauty. It comes in this little box. It says artist palette. All the ingredients are listed on the back. It's cruelty-free and vegan, which I think is wonderful. The actual palette itself is relatively small. If you compare it to, say, like my Lily Lolo palette, you'll see that the size differential is pretty great. So within the actual palette, you're getting 3 cream colors. You're getting a really light, kind of more of like a highlighter-esque color. I would say this one has the least amount of pigment out of the 3. It's more of like a lilac-y gray kind of color. And then we kind of move up in pigment. So you're getting a middle tone, which is more of like a medium purple gray, and then you are finally getting a deep navy black gray kind of mix. As I said before, all 3 of these are cream shadows. When you first get them, I mean, I've used this a little bit so you can't really tell, but when you first get them, they have almost like a waxy hard cover over the top of it, and it's important that when you're first using it, you kind of warm up the colors with a brush or something, just so that you're actually getting the payoff that these colors can provide. The kit itself actually comes with a little brush. It's a double-headed brush, so you get kind of like a square angled and a round flat top brush. I actually think that this is a good brush to use for the palettes, because what I ended up using anyway is just a flat rounded top brush and then like a square angled brush to do a little bit of liner action. So I honestly think that this is one of those brushes that you could actually use. Most of the time I feel like when brands put these brushes in, it's like you're never going to use them, but I would actually keep this one. The palette itself is plastic. It has the cute little Vapour Beauty logo on the very top, and then on the back you get the description of all the colors. So there's Feral, Vibe, and Dusk in this one. One bonus for sure too is that this palette comes with a mirror. A lot of palettes in the natural beauty world don't come with a mirror. I'm assuming it's like a cost-saving thing, but this one does, so it's actually really nice. And the top of it is actually reflective, so if anything happened in the mirror, you could probably get away with putting on your makeup using the top of this. So I wanted to show you guys actually how these apply, because they're a very unique texture. They're somewhere in between like a waxy kind of feel and a cream kind of feel. I think they would be amazing as a base just to apply shadow on top of it, and actually in one of my videos, the Golden Globes look, I actually did that and it worked perfectly. But otherwise, I would say using your fingers are the best tools for this eyeshadow. I went ahead and I started off with the lightest shade and I placed that all over my lid. And I used a flat top brush for this because I think the key to these shadows are actually pressing it into your eye with a flat top brush and then going back in with your fingers to blend the edges and make sure that they apply seamlessly. I did get a little bit of patchiness, which was mostly noticeable in the darker colors, but once you go over it with your finger, it seems to kind of blend seamlessly and make it look a little bit more uniform. Next, I went in with the second lightest shade, which is like the medium tone, and this I kind kind of focused up into my crease. Again, I'm using the exact same brush, so it's kind of nice. You don't need to get out another brush for this. I didn't really see a lot of transfer between the shadows, so I don't really see why you would need a new brush if you're working darker. Obviously, if you're gonna start with the darker colors and then go lighter, you might want to use a different brush, but for me, this was working just fine. And so anyway, I placed that kind of along the crease of my eye and blended upwards. Again, I went back in with my fingers just to make sure the application was seamless because, like I said, the darker colors did apply a little bit patchy. And then lastly, I'm going to go ahead and dip into the darkest color of the palette, which has honestly become my favorite color of the palette. I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, but this is a great like bluish gray that is perfect for any smoky eye look. And I'm just going to place that all along my lash line and then underneath my bottom lashes as well. And this is just kind of smoking out the look, giving it a little bit more drama. And then I went ahead and applied just a little bit of black liner and mascara to finish off the look, and this is what you end up with. As you can see, it's a lot softer than I think you would assume based on the colors in the palette. So I would definitely say one benefit of this palette is that all three colors work really well together or apart. I've actually worn just the lightest color a few times on its own because I think it's really pretty. It just adds like a little hue to your eyelid without looking super, super intense. But as you can see, you can actually get a pretty dramatic smoky look with this. So this could be a cool kit to throw in your purse, especially if you are, you know, a student, like a college student and you're going out later, or if you're at work, because you can just apply maybe like the lightest color for the day and then hop in the bathroom right before you're about to head out and just pop on the other two colors to kind of build up and make a more dramatic smoky look, and that way it's really easy to go day to night. One downside I would say that I found is the patchiness of these products. I think as long as you're careful to blend it, it's fine. But if you're someone who just likes to slap a cream shadow on and not worry about blending it too much, then this might not be the palette for you. It is slightly higher maintenance, at least in my personal opinion, especially because the colors do have kind of like a blue tone and a gray tone. I personally really wanted to make sure that they're blending well so it doesn't just look like a harsh line in between my natural skin tone and where the eyeshadow actually begins. Alright, I think that sums up my thoughts on this palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will actually be giving away one of these palettes once I hit 500 subscribers, so if you want to be entered, go ahead and subscribe by clicking the button down below, or at the end of this video there'll be a little circle that you can click as well. I post weekly videos on Fridays, and they're always on clean, non-toxic beauty. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!